Week 5 of the offseason recap. This week started off really great. We did chest and back on Sunday, a little bit earlier than usual. There was a predicted snowstorm in New York, so I woke up at like 6 o'clock, trained at like 8 o'clock, which is 2 hours before I usually train. Started with pec deck flies, and while the wrist wraps seem like they would do absolutely nothing on an exercise like this, I found that it really did help take my wrists and my forearms out of the equation, letting me really focus on my chest and my shoulders. My back work was pretty consistent, nothing too crazy there. I progressed my sets, had good contractions, blah, blah, blah. But a couple of changes coming to my chest day routine. I really have not been connecting with the converging chest press machine I've typically been doing. And I find that the more free weight work I do for my shoulder, the better my injury feels. Between that and the fact that I have been feeling pretty fatigued recently, I think a volume reduction is a need. Going forward, we will be doing 3 sets of a pec deck fly to isolate and hit the entire chest. Then we will do 2 sets of an incline dumbbell press at 15 degrees and 1 set at 30 degrees. I'm also going to make a very, very slight reduction to my back training volume, literally going from 2 sets of lat pullovers to only 1. In total, it will be 1 less set of chest and 1 less set of back, so not a crazy change at all. Very minor adjustments to see how I feel, see how my progressions and my fatigue responds. I said it last week, whether it be with training or nutrition, I am not a fan of making these crazy big jumps. I'd rather gradually increase or gradually decrease my calorie/volume. So for now, it will just be this 2-set reduction. Speaking of 2 sets, this was my second set of hack squats, and as you can see, this is not the usual environment. So I'm from New York, and there is currently a blizzard going on, and I physically could not get to the gym, even if I wanted to, and believe me, I wanted to. I swear, it feels like the world is trying to stop me from hitting this 5-plate hack squat at Bev's, but it's all right. We have the AMGym, thankfully. I layered up, got 4 layers of clothes on, plus a heater going, and it honestly was not that bad at all. Had to get creative with the equipment. Obviously, I don't have everything a gym has, but the fact that I have a leg press, hack squat, leg extension, leg curl, and as you can see here, even found a creative way to get my hip thrust in, I think I did pretty well for myself. The only thing that I didn't hit was my hip work. There just was no easy way to do abductions or adductions, so I guess those muscles get a little rest for the week. Speaking of rest, I have been prioritizing my sleep a little bit extra this week, trying to go to bed before 10 o'clock. I slipped up a little bit, and I was going to sleep around 10:30, 10:45, which I think is why I was feeling so much fatigue last week. For this week, I felt amazing going into arms. I was hyped. I was energized. I was ready to progress. And speaking of progression, I think that was the other thing that was throwing me off. I was so focused on this idea of, hey, I'm in the off season. I need to progress by 5 pounds or a rep on every single set of every single exercise that I started to let go of proper execution and proper technique. Now, I do think progression is very important, but I also think that execution matters more. For that reason, what I started doing is on the first set of my exercise, I am kind of just trying to move weight and see a progression, whether it be in reps or load. And then on the second, or for some exercises, third set, I'm lightening the weight. I don't care about the specific number of reps or the specific weight I'm hitting. I'm more so focused on getting good contractions with proper execution. For my arm work, I switched to a lot of single arm stuff. I've been having a lot of elbow and wrist pain since having a designated arm day. So doing single arm work not only alleviated a lot of this pain, but allowed me to get really good contractions in my biceps and triceps. Been playing a little bit with a cuff too. The one I had was originally too big, so I'm going to get a smaller one that it's not sliding up and down my wrist as I'm doing my sets. But definitely loving this single arm cuffed work. I hate science-based lifting, or at least the cringy version you see on social media. So I feel a little silly doing these single arm cuffed extensions, but they feel good, they're progressing, and if it grows my triceps, I'll do them. Mixed feelings about Thursday's chest and back day. For the most part, everything felt good. My chest flies felt great. My incline dumbbell felt great, was able to progress. And when I tried the 30-degree incline, that's where things really hit the fan. I don't know if it was fatigue or my pressing mechanics or maybe just the angle, but this really messed with my shoulder. And I'm very obsessive when it comes to my 4-year chronic shoulder injury. So I spent the rest of the day trying things out, experimenting with it, playing around with it, and that only made it worse. I woke up on Friday extremely sore. Thankfully, Friday's leg day was a great workout, which kind of made up for it. And while I was at the gym, I experimented with some cable flies, and these felt great. So I think with the updated chest training game plan is going to be 2 sets of a pec deck fly, 2 sets of that 15-degree incline dumbbell, and then 2 sets of a low to high cable fly. Unfortunately, my next chest and back day is going to be Monday of next week, so I won't have an update on the shoulder or on the chest day until next week's video. But enough talking about the negatives of Thursday. Let's get into the good parts of Friday. Starting off with my 5-plate hack squat. When I first started hack squatting, it was during my first prep about 1.5 years ago, and I kid you not, I could not lift 2 plates. I was genuinely doing 1.5 plates for 6 to 8 reps, so to be able to progress to a 5-plate hack squat in 2 years was a massive milestone. Nothing else really happened on leg day. Pretty straightforward workout. Progressed my exercises, had a good lift. I wasn't feeling super fatigued, which is good. That means my volume is in a good spot. And with the way that my rotation lined up, Friday was not only leg day, but my cheat meal. I am Catholic, so we do sushi on Fridays with the family. And let me tell you, it was so bus. Saturday's shoulder and arm day went so much better than expected. Originally, I had plans in the afternoon, so I thought I was going to have to go to the gym in the evening, which I hate doing because I can't take pre-workout. I'm super tired, and I very rarely have a good nighttime lift. Fortunately, I woke up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, which gave me just enough time to hit my workout before my plans in the afternoon, and the workout was incredible. A little cold, which is why I'm wearing literally 4 layers of clothing and was blasting a space heater. But once the weather allows for it, I cannot wait to start hitting shoulders and arms in the AMGym. Once the weather permits for it in New York, I do plan on doing my shoulders and arm days at the AMGym and then keeping my chest, back, and leg days at Bev's. My shoulder and arm day is mainly cable and dumbbell work, so do I really want to drive an hour to the gym for cables and dumbbells when I have them at home? The only downside about training in the AMGym today is that I got a lot stronger than I realized. So I was like, okay, let me start at my old working weights and see how those go. But I seriously undershot. I was doing 15 plus reps on a lot of these sets, which was fun. I was getting really good contractions, and I may actually implement some more higher rep training into my regular program. I was also using this workout more so as a deload. My elbows and more particularly my shoulders have been feeling off recently, so a lighter day where I'm not training as hard is probably good for recovery. Very, very minor change to my arm day training. I really like this overhead tricep extension variation I was doing, so I think I'm going to do those first before I do the standard tricep pushdowns I do. Other than that, it was just a really good workout to end off the week. I obviously wasn't going to record it, but it was super warm in New York, so I was actually able to get an outdoor walk for the first time in forever, and honestly, I missed it. I've said it in other videos, but I really did not do cardio in my past off-season, which is why I gained so much weight so fast. And I have very much been on top of my steps. I'm still averaging 12K per week, which has been a really huge help in reversing properly this time. Speaking of which, my weight ended with a weekly average of 163.1, which is actually a 0.8 pound drop from last week's weekly average. I'm going to hold off one more week before increasing my food. Summer's right around the corner, and I really don't want to ramp up body fat or calories right before the summer hits. So we are going to be a little bit more moderate in the beginning of the off season. Then, most likely around September, we'll bump up calories pretty significantly for the last 4 months of the year before doing our mini cut in the beginning of 2027. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. That is many, many months away. So for now, just enjoy this week 5 recap.